All right, so the ACC, this is going to be a little different than, like I said, my tier list power ranking, because this is actually, I'm legit power ranking. I'm not necessarily worrying about their schedule. This just sit there playing head-to-head right now, who I would take. We'll start number 5. We've got Louisville. Louisville, really good year last year, made the ACC championship. Jeff Brom, I think, is a good head coach. Give him a couple years, I think he's going to be a household name in the coaching profession. I think will be a top 10 coach. But right now, he's got Louisville on the right track. All right, brought in a ton of transfers in the transfer portal, skill guys all over the place from Power 5 schools, bringing Tyler Shuck at quarterback from Texas Tech. He brought in originally Penny Boone from Toledo at running back. I thought was a top 10 running back, but apparently he got beat out in the spring, so he ended up transferring again. But it sounds like Louisville's loaded. They should be a candidate to win the ACC once again. Number 4, Florida State. All right, Florida State, we know what happened last year. Jordan Travis got hurt. Missed the college football playoff even despite being undefeated. At the beginning of the transfer portal, I was kind of a little questionable in the offseason going with Florida State because they lost so freaking much. Like at the beginning, it was a little worrisome. They lost that much. But they've kind of reloaded in the portal. They brought in some serious talent from Georgia, from other places. You've got DJ Uiagalelei coming in at quarterback from Oregon State and Clemson. All right, he's won a ton of ball games. He's not the most impressive number-wise, but we know DJU can win. We know he can win in this conference for number 1, but we know he can win in general from what he did at Oregon State. Surround him with the talent he's going to have at Florida State. I think DJU is going to have a pretty good year this year. I think Florida State's going to be a competitor in the ACC. Our number 3, Miami. All right, Mario Cristobal. We know he does some questionable stuff as a head coach. That's kind of proven. All right, heck, that loss last year that they lost from not kneeling, I would have fired him on the spot, and he deserved to get fired after that one. But this is his most talented team yet, I think, whether at Miami, whether at Oregon. I think this is the most talented team he's had. Talking about Mario Cristobal in Miami. You bring in Cam Ward at quarterback. All right, kind of some rumors he might go pro, talking about Cam Ward at Miami, but decides to transfer to Miami from Washington State. Really good dual threat guy. He's going to put up some serious numbers this season at Miami, and you surround him with the pieces they have. They were actually really close last year. I know their record doesn't necessarily show it, but Miami was in a lot of games with tough teams that, like almost Florida State, they almost should have beat, for example. They can play with these football teams. But Damian Martinez coming in at running back as well from Oregon State. Cam Ward's going to be enough to keep him in ball games. As of right now, I think I've got him in my top 15 preseason. I know a lot of people have learned not to believe the hype on Miami, and that's justified. They're usually overranked, I think, but I think they're really talented this year and have a chance to do something special. All right, number 2, NC State. All right, I think this is Dave Doran, NC State's head coach, best team yet. All right, kind of a slept-on coach, one of the more underrated guys, Dave Doran at NC State. Done a really good job there. Kind of consistent 8-9 win team with him there, but this is his most talented team yet. I know I said that about Mario Cristobal at Miami, but I'm saying it again with NC State and Dave Doran. He brings in Grayson McCall, a quarterback from Coastal Carolina. Grayson McCall has been around a long time in college, and he's won a ton of ball games. All right, he's been at Coastal Carolina. Think back to 2020 when BYU and Coastal played that kind of midweek game with both top 25 matchups, kind of the top 2 G5 schools at that time of the season. He was the quarterback at Coastal Carolina then. He's still around. All right, he's got the redshirt year. He's got the COVID year. Comes over to NC State. NC State's going to be really good this year. They've surrounded him, talking about Grayson McCall, with guys from the portal out wide. All right, his receivers are going to be legit this year. I think NC State's going to be special this year. And with them, we'll know a lot early because NC State does play Tennessee in the non-con. So we'll see a lot pretty fast with them. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my voice here already. All right, number 1, we got Clemson. All right, Clemson, I know a lot of people are down on Dabo. I know he's kind of, lost his touch, people will say about Dabo at Clemson, but I think he's going to be pretty good this year. Number 1, the ACC is for the taking. All right, nobody is just standing out to me right now when looking at these teams. And Cade Klubnik, all right, he's been the quarterback for multiple years now, and they've had success. I know they haven't had Trevor Lawrence level success, Taj Boyd level success at Clemson, but they've still been, 10 wins, 9 wins. They've been really competitive. Excuse me. And so this year, I think, is finally the year they're going to kind of take over and finally make that jump in the ACC, make it back to the college football playoff. I think now is the time. I know Dabo doesn't reload in the transfer portal for some reason. I really don't know why. Eventually, you're going to have to adjust eventually. I know I don't like the transfer portal. Obviously, Dabo don't like the transfer portal, but to stay consistently winning, you're going to have to load up in the transfer portal at some point, because if you could keep your guys, he talked about, I've got my own transfers from my recruiting. If you could keep them, yeah, but you're losing starters. Like, they lost the safety to Texas, is going to start at Texas this year. So they're losing guys, but still, I think they're the favorite right now in the ACC probably.